Alright, Gooch Maniacs, welcome back to another episode of the Gooch in the News. This is technically the February and March because I forgot to do one in February. I didn't really forget, I just didn't have time. My person for February will be the men's and women's U.S. hockey teams for beating Canada in their own game, winning gold medals. And my person of the month for March has to be President Trump again, just like in January. He removed, in the last several months, he's removed Maduro. He's taking care of the leadership in Iran. And he's doing what he has to make America great. Now, to cover a couple of things that have been in the news that I want to cover. If you're not familiar with this particular series here on YouTube and on Rumble, this used to be called the Gooch and Gabriel Show, where I cover news stories and I give my opinion. If you disagree with me, that's okay, but I would like to hear why you disagree with me in these videos. Why you disagree with me. So I can, so you know, I do read the comments. I read all the comments. I don't get very many, but I read them. Let's start off with, we covered about the Lesbo that got shot by ICE back in January. Well, in February we had a 65 nurse, so-called nurse, in Minnesota, get shot by police. Well, by ICE agents. He was fighting with them, he had a gun. Now, they said, a lot of people say, well, his gun accidentally discharged. I have a airsoft pistol, which is basically a toy pistol. And it has a little thing on it called a safety. Every gun has a safety on it. I can cock this, but I can't even load it because the safety's on. Now, with the safety off, it will shoot. And the reason why I'm demonstrating that is, if he would have had his safety on, and had on his gun, there's no way it would have gone off on its own. Most guns don't go off on its own. Yes, he does have one that has the habit of misfiring. That type of gun does misfire. But if he had his safety on, it wouldn't have misfired. It wouldn't have fired at all. So he was stupid for, one, having a gun, if he wasn't intending to use it. Two, he was stupid for having the safety off. And three, if he hadn't been there, he would still be alive. Most of these people don't love America. They don't care about the people they're trying to keep from deporting. They're only doing what they're doing because they hate Trump. I'm going to be honest with you. Those people are looking at the ICE agents that we have are the kind of people they are. Because I would probably shot more than just one if I was an ICE agent. Because that's how they are. I mean, all you're doing is putting an end to idiots. You F around, you find out. Now, let's go to these people who are protesting Trump removing Maduro from Venezuela. These people were sending drugs into America, and you protested him destroying their drug boats. The people in Venezuela have been asking us to remove Maduro for years. Trump finally got the nerve up to do it, and he did it. You shouldn't be complaining or fussing about that. That's what it should be. As far as these people protesting, did you not see the people of Venezuela and Venezuelans here in America, Venezuelans in England, Venezuelans in Australia celebrating that Trump did what he did? Again, you people don't care about the people of Venezuela. You just want to protest because you don't like what Trump is doing. If Obama would have done that, you would not have had a problem. You would not be protesting. You'd be cheering it on. And the media would be cheering it on. The media has been goading you people into believing bull crap for years. I've been saying that since 2007. That the media is lying to you. Now, let's get to something more current. I'm talking about the State of the Union. To the Democrats, as an independent, it outrages me to see y'all did not stand for a little girl who almost died because somebody allowed an illegal in California, mainly Gavin Newsom, who's an idiot, and if he runs for president, if he becomes president, we're in trouble because we don't need no dummies like him in office. He might know where he is, unlike Biden, but he'd be far worse than Biden. But to get back, he was almost killed by an illegal that had a commercials operating license. You didn't stand up for her. You stayed seated. That's a shame. That's why a lot of independents like myself have been voting Republican lately. We don't have a choice. Now, there are those of you that are going to argue that I always vote Republican. Yes. I was a Republican, and I still vote mainly Republican because usually the Democrats don't have any ideas. All they can run on is the hatred of Trump. What are you going to do when Trump's no longer in office, Democrats? All the name calling you've called Republicans over the last few years. Nazi, Hitler, fascist, homophobic, sexist, whatever ish or phobic that you put on it, isn't sticking anymore, and it's becoming tired. People are becoming tired of it. And you people need to stop it. Now, let's cover what's going on right now with Iran. I was 7 years old when the Islamic extremists took over Iran. Wow. I was 7 years old when that happened. 1979. I remember the news. I remember preachers preaching about it and saying how wrong it is because that means another enemy for Israel to deal with. Jimmy Carter did nothing. He sat by and let it happen. And then you had Reagan come in. Reagan didn't do much about it, and that's one of those things that I will say bad about Reagan. I can't say a whole lot bad about Reagan, but I can say that. You had both of the Bushes, you had Obama, you had Clinton. Nobody did anything about it. Trump wanted to do something in his first term, and the Democrats held him up in his first term by forcing him to deal with the impeachment bull crap for crimes he didn't commit. He gets in there, and this time he does it. He does what every president from Jimmy Carter on should have done, but he did it. They weren't just a threat to Israel, they were a threat to us. They've killed American people. They've killed some of our Olympians. They had, don't remember the Iranian, of course, during the Olympics, they took and kidnapped the Israeli athletes and slaughtered half of them. They took U.S. prisoners, which it took Reagan to get them free. So, those of you that are too young to know that, need to go back and read that history. So, you're protesting for the wrong stuff. And I just find it ignorant. Now, before I close, I am going to issue a challenge to an individual for a no holds barred match. We can box, kung fu, wrestling, whatever you want to do. Whatever kind of fighting skills you have compared to my wrestling skills. And I'm calling out Lily Tino. We'll sell tickets and the money will go to the winner's preferred charity. Because Lady Tino, you're a dude, you're a man, you're not a woman. No matter how much you say you are. Now, Florida, if y'all don't throw this little pervert behind bars, I would be calling you out. Y'all need to start doing what you said you were going to do. Join me next month for another episode of the Gooch in the News. And as always, I am the man of the power, the man of the hour, the man of the power. Too sweet to be sour. Every lady's pet, every man's regret. The sex appeal of Elvis, leadership qualities of Ronald Reagan, Hall of Fame potential of George Brett, style and profiling of the Nature Boy. Woo! Ric Flair, the hardcore heart of Mick Foley, always right like Rush Limbaugh. The toughness of Chuck Norris rolled into one. THEGOOCH. And see you next time.